Never was a possibility. I don't know where that kind of stuff comes from. It's like, I tell people all the time, Tank's his own boss. Really don't have an opinion on that. Coach, if that's what Coach Calvin said, I respect his opinion. He's one of the top trainers in the sport. So that, I don't have an opinion.
But as I always say, contracts don't define relationships.
Leonard Ellerbe has strongly reacted to Gervonta Davis firing Calvin Ford, making it clear that he never expected something like this to happen. He sounded shocked and frustrated, pointing to how important Ford has been to Davis's success. The situation still feels tense, especially because Ellerbe has always praised Calvin Ford's work in boxing. He has repeatedly said that Ford deserves Trainer of the Year recognition and has questioned why he has not received more credit. To Ellerbe, the lack of respect for Ford remains confusing, especially considering everything he has done.
And I've been singing his praises. I've said when Tank wins this fight, he's going to be, in my opinion, he's going to be the front runner for Fighter of the Year. And there goes the trainer too.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of credit for obvious reasons because, and it's just weird. That kind of thing is kind of weird to me because, not switching gears, but Roger never got Trainer of the Year when Floyd was Fighter of the Year.
Yeah.
His dad never got Trainer of the Year. So, I've been openly expressing that. And I think it's time that Calvin gets his just due.
Yeah.
Beyond business, Ellerbe and Ford built a strong personal connection. Their bond goes deeper than a normal professional relationship, shaped by mutual respect and a shared goal of developing real boxing talent. That relationship has played an important role in helping guide fighters like Davis to the top of the sport.
He took his gym bag.
I remember that.
He took his gym bag, like I said.
His best of the whole time.
The whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time. Whole time. We had so much.
That was a classic, yeah.
We had so much.
Yeah, that's a classic. I mean, but that's how this fight remind me of, but I didn't know all the backstory.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of history with them clowns. A lot of history.
So this gonna be real.
Leonard Ellerbe had been with Mayweather Promotions from the beginning and played a major role in helping promote fighters like Davis. But after internal disagreements, especially over the direction of Davis's career, Ellerbe eventually decided to leave the company. That move became a major shift in the boxing promotion landscape.
Biggest news over the weekend to me was Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather parting ways. I just was in girls' collection a week and a half ago, and them niggas was in the club together. So to see Leonard Ellerbe, who started off, as far as I know, I'm not even talking about Grand Rapids, Michigan, or anything else when they growing up. He started off in the corner with Floyd. Not his main trainer or anything like that, but the nigga who get the water, the towel, and he started off a corner man to become the guy who actually started helping him run Mayweather.
Calvin Ford has always believed that mentors can guide a fighter, but true success depends on the fighter's own talent and personal journey. He has made it clear that no one person can take full credit for what Davis has achieved. In Ford's view, Tank's ability was already obvious long before anyone else helped shape his career.
Was it for Tank to learn?
That was the blessing. That wasn't my work. That wasn't Tank work. That wasn't Floyd work. It was the stars, the moons, or whatever. I'm bringing them together to create greatness, so we can have this greatness carry us to the next generation.
You showed humbleness on stage at the press conference today, giving it immense props to the guys at the other side of the table, to Tank, to Goosen, to...
I grew up off them. I grew up off the legends of what they did when we was watching boxing, when they said boxing was great. Boxing.
Leonard Ellerbe has often praised Gervonta Davis for his rare talent, punching power, and commanding presence inside the ring. He has also given Calvin Ford major credit for helping Davis develop through years of hard work and guidance, recognizing the role Ford played in shaping Tank into such a dangerous fighter.
I'm very, very confident Tank beats all those guys. All those guys. You name, any of them you name, Tank can beat them.
where would a fight with like a Devin Haney or a Teofimo Lopez sort of sit on the grand scheme of his schedule?
I don't think that you can put a timeline on that kind of stuff because the big fights happen when they really make sense for both sides. And, you know, I know the fans get a little impatient at times, and that's understandable because they don't really understand how the business goes. You know, Tank's coming off of a fight where, you know, he's made tens of millions of dollars, and Tank alone has been generating, you know, 8-figure revenue every single fight. Tank makes you an offer, it's probably not going to be what you expect because you get paid on what you kind of weigh. Tank is here, and the other guys are there, and I'm solely talking about generating the revenue.
After their professional split, Calvin Ford said he still hopes Davis continues growing as a fighter. He stressed that Tank needs someone around him who can truly challenge him, push him the right way, and help take his game to another level. That shows Ford still cares about Davis's development even after their separation.
I'm hoping that he do what I need him to do. You know what I'm saying? You see how I asked him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody that's going to really push Tank so I can see different levels of it. This time I had a chance to step back, and everybody keeps saying, they changing up stuff. No, we ain't changed up anything. It's the same thing we always do. You know?
Going into the, you know, the training camp, how was it? Or you said you stepped back a little bit. Well, how was it, you know, splitting the time? How's it going to be splitting the time to
No, this is
Saturday
something
night?
that we do all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right now, y'all know all I gotta do is speak. Been taking out history since I was a kid. When I stepped in the gym, B said, "Yo, I'm glad you here now." He watched him. He said, "Boom," and I see the light in Tank. You know, I just can't wait to see all of that come together. Fight night.
How's going back to, you know, being in the corner? How do you see Gervonta right now, you know, just being in camp? Because at first, when we talked to him in the press conference, he was very open about retiring and he was done. And now he said that...
Y'all have to understand. He a young man. He have a family. He want to do something. Enjoy something. Don't, take some time. I took a little bit of time out. You know what I'm saying? It refreshes you. Get you back on that. You know, so tonight, you know, he had a chance for me not being around him a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I stepped in and I seen how he missed me and how I missed him. You know what I'm saying? I just can't wait to see.
Calvin Ford has often looked back on Davis's early days, remembering how talented he was even as a young fighter and how he consistently stood out against others his age. Davis also used to describe Ford as a father figure, showing that their relationship went far beyond boxing.
When a kid was playing, he'd smack the shit out of the kid and then tell him to go get their parent. Then tell him why he was playing. and I used to sit there and trip off. He said, y'all shouldn't be playing with older guys. You know what I'm saying? When you playing with older guys, they supposed to check y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I said, damn, I taught him good. You don't play with your elders or talk, out of line with them and whatnot. And I think Tank liked that. Tank liked that because, them two used to be together, man. I used to watch them and whatnot. And I had another kid in here. He used to say, man, your father the best, man. I wish they was my dad. And that's when Tank used to always say, that's my dad coach right there. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a family-orientated situation, man, that you couldn't get around it, man.
How does it feel having young men at the time, but now grown men calling you dad, and you're not their biological father?
Yo, it's scary.
Does that put a different pressure on you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you when it really hit me. One day I was in camp with Tank, and he had this little daughter, and he said, "Like a pop right there." You know what I'm saying? And it made me broke down inside, and I was like, "Damn!" And when I look at him now, I still hear little Tank, but I know he a grown man now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it just shows you the work and the years that you put in, grooming an individual to become what he's going to become.
The bond between Davis and Ford was never just professional. Davis has said that Ford understood him so well in the ring that he could almost predict what he was about to do, especially when he was close to taking control of a fight or breaking an opponent down. That level of understanding showed how deep their connection truly was.
Before they stopped it, I said every time I stopped somebody, I called it out, didn't I?
Every time he come in the corner and talk to him, and I said, yo, what you doing? He'll look this way, he'll look this way. He's about to stop.
Cause I start touching them more and more. When they gonna give him the credit for one of the smartest boxers.
That was a beautiful boxing display.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Smart.
That's what I call, you wasn't looking for the knockout, but you was placing this shit. He already seen it.
He said, I can't
That's
get
the
hit.
difference. And Tank was holding the conversation. Tank said, yo, how about Tank can't, every fight Tank come and tell me, I'm going to knock him out. He'll tell me, I'm going to knock him out.
Calvin Ford has often praised Davis for his versatility and overall skill. He believes Tank has the ability to succeed and dominate in multiple weight divisions. Ford's confidence comes from both his boxing knowledge and his deep understanding of Davis's true potential.
Tank fought guys, spar guys in the gym at 165, but it's different. Tank was hitting guys with 16 ounce gloves on. You know what I'm saying? Can Tank pull it off? Yes. But climbing that ladder, taking that chances, taking that type, that's a fight where you put a fighter in, right? Where it's will definitely be some damage in, damage and hydrating back up at that weight. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have weight classes for reasons.
Wow. Yeah, man.
You gotta look at his last fight, and then his last fight, he struggled to make 140. Let's keep it real.
Ford's real value was that he understood Tank beyond technique. He knew how Davis thought under pressure, when to push him harder, and when to calm him down during difficult moments, helping Tank regain his focus and stay locked into the fight.
He just did. He got off the canvas once. It ain't about the dub with me. It's about, do you got that will against will? I don't know. I know I can. I ain't pushed no buttons with Tank yet. I came from a different beast. I understand what we got to go against every time we get in there. That square box of lunch is serious. So when I talk to him, he know what I'm talking about. Let's see. April the 22nd, Tehran.
Growing up in Baltimore came with many risks for Davis, but Ford helped keep him on the right path. He gave Tank the guidance, discipline, and support he needed to stay committed to boxing instead of being pulled into the dangers around him.
Let me explain something to you. Tank don't look at me as coach, he look at me as dad. Do it look like his son supposed to be taking care of dad? I don't even feel right. Y'all hear this sound? Tank don't pay his coach. Tank gives me anything I want.
Right.
But I'm a man at the end of the day. Absolutely. And I'm a hustler.
Right.
Second foremost, I came from that cloth. You know what I'm saying? He watched me lose my house, my wife, my family. He watched me do it. It's bigger than boxing.
Right.
Boxing is just a web.
Ford seemed to understand that every fighter eventually reaches a point where change can happen. He admitted that his chapter with Davis might be coming to an end because he had already given him everything he could. If Tank felt he needed a new path to keep improving, Ford appeared willing to accept that with respect and maturity.
My journey's crazy. That's why I said this, you can't write this, man. You cannot write this. My experience being gone and all the stuff that I went through preparing me for where I'm at today. Man, Tank is older. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do to take us the rest of the way. And this is his take us the rest of the way fight.
During his recent fight with Lamont Roach Jr., many people felt Davis looked different without Ford in his corner. He did not seem as sharp as usual and had trouble finding his normal rhythm. Because of that, some observers considered it one of the weaker performances of his career.
I mind. This is why Gervonta Davis struggled that fight, so just roll with me for a second, you'll see where I'm going. I don't know if y'all noticed it right away, but I noticed it. Calvin Ford was not the head man in the corner, which I didn't really understand. And before the video continues, go ahead to the follow button because we're about to deep dive into this and we post every day. Calvin Ford was not the lead man who's been with Gervonta since he was a damn near child. Honestly, since he was a child. Why would you do that? I don't know if they were underestimating the fight. I don't know if they were just trying to change it up and try something new because this wasn't a huge opponent. I don't know if there's something wrong with Calvin or Calvin's not going to be there. I don't know. But that was damn stupid. Because you notice when shit started hitting the fan, guess what voice popped up on that screen? Put his head through ropes and Calvin started coaching. When Tank's eye messed up, guess where he looked? He didn't look at that other corner man. He looked for Calvin Ford. Also, Tank talked a lot during this fight. It was a little bit of a different Tank than we've seen. He was chirping with the fire, which isn't new. He was arguing with the ref. He seemed not composed. I feel like that would have been different with a Calvin Ford in his corner. Because I'm going to be real, the advice that his corner was giving him was dog shit. Yeah, he won the fight, but let's be real, he shouldn't have won that fight. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I think that definitely played a role, and I feel like if Calvin was there, it would have been a little different. But yeah, not a good boxing night from Tank, and this is from a Tank fan.
For years, Davis spoke about Ford with genuine admiration and often described him as more than just a trainer. But lately, the way Davis has interacted with him seems different. That change has led many people to believe their once close bond may now be under serious strain.
The head trainer in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, again, I said Calvin's pops. You know what I mean? He will always be around. You know what I mean? So, that's pops, like I said. So he'll always be there. It's without me, without Calvin, it wouldn't be no me. You know what I mean? Because at first, when I came into the boxing world, it was more so of me falling in love off of the father figure that Calvin was in the gym. It wasn't just me going to a boxing gym to saying I love to fight. You know what I mean? That's as I got older, I started thinking I started realizing that, you know what I mean, it's not really the love of the sport that I had, it was just